Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the B&B podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon,
My other host, Brody.
and this is episode 128. And believe it or not, that is the first take today. As much as I say that every time I fuck up, but it is. It's after Christmas, about a week after Christmas. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the holidays if you celebrate. If not, hopefully you had a good December 25th. Yeah, we're not doing a Bah Humbug episode this year, Brody.
Oh, okay.
It's past Christmas anyways. But my lovely stepsister made the thing in the background that you can see. I inverted it, so hopefully you can see it. But it's a personalized sign for the podcast, the B&B podcast. Or as I'm looking at it, Het B&B to Cascop Dop. I
was
can't read
waiting for
backwards.
that.
Yeah. I did not think about that as I started that sentence. But no, hopefully you guys can see it. It is small on the screen, so I don't know how well you can see it, but I told her I put it in the background, and there it is. So Allison, if you're listening, thank you. Looks cool.
Yes, looks good.
Yeah. All our pre-recorded episodes are pretty much used up, so we gotta do some more pre-recording here one of these weeks when Brody and I have more free time. But it's been kind of busy after after New Year's. We didn't really do much for New Year's. Colton, who's been on the podcast before, him and I went to another friend's house and we played some games, and Brody just stayed in, had a pretty chill New Year's. Which
I was asleep by like 9 p.m.
yeah, he's an old man. It's to be
Yeah.
expected. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can really do with the whole COVID nonsense that's still going around. So I mean, we make the best with what we have. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the last couple episodes. I just finished editing the one with Kyle, so go leave a like and tell us what you think about that episode. Yeah, I mean, interaction on YouTube would be great. So we know what kind of stuff you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some more guests on in the near future. I gotta figure out a schedule for them because I never know when anyone's free.
Yeah. That's always the hard part.
Yeah.
Well, at least with us living together, we can just kind of plan like, oh, we'll do this Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not a lot has happened, I don't think, in our lives that to update. I mean, we got laid off from the hockey rink that we've mentioned in the past. Kind of sucky. Sucky timing, definitely. But that also leaves more time for us to plan streaming, which Brody and I are both going to be back to streaming soon, I hope.
Yeah.
That's the plans for the New Year's kind of. I wouldn't say resolutions. I like the term goals more. One of my goals is to get back into streaming, as well as all three of us in this household are planning on going to the gym, getting swole. So we're gonna have the barbells and what's another B term for gym? Boobs.
Yes.
Barbells and boobs. The podcast.
Yikes.
Yeah. I don't know what's another term that starts with B to do with the gym.
Bench press.
Barbells and bench press podcast.
There you go.
The B&B.
Sound like a bunch of gym douches.
Yeah, we'll just turn into some like gatekeeping gym users. We'll gatekeep how you do your exercises.
Yeah, that's how you get punched at a gym.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, did you want to let the audience know what we were talking about today?
Are we mentioning both?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. We're talking about some of the future goals and plans we have with the podcast, and just in general, like what we have going forward with our lives, streaming, all that fun stuff, and other things related to our content creation.
Yeah. I mean, to start off, goals for the podcast. I really didn't see this podcast going as far as it has. Because like with me, usually when I'm interested in something, I get like such a fascination with it, and it's my like whole driving force, and like I put all my energy into it, and then like in a few months, it's like, That was fun. And I mean, it's gotten to that point before, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you look back through our the history of the B&B, you'll definitely notice some time gaps. And I mean, there's a few things contributing to that. One, we don't get paid for this, so if we take a month break or 2 months break, it's not a big deal for that kind of thing. It's not like we're losing out on income or whatever.
Yeah.
And like life gets in the way, there's shit that you just don't know is going to happen, like happens, and then you gotta rework your life around it. So I mean, there's many factors into why we've stopped in the past, but I think I'm proud of us for like making it this far and like having the audience we do. It's not a large audience, don't get me wrong. Like it'd be nice to see more views and more listens and more engagement. That's what I always strive for. And I guess talking goals, if that's probably one of my goals, is just getting more engagement, getting more listeners to kind of voice their opinions. But like I said, I never envisioned this podcast going on 3 years. I think 3 years this month.
Yeah, it's
Um,
insane.
which yeah, like and like I've said in the past, I really think it's made you and I mean, now that we live together, not so much, but like it really forced us to stay in contact because it's like this thing that we do every week, or we release it every week and we see how it does, and like it's just this thing that we kind of have tying us together, which
Yeah.
is really cool. And I think it really is the equivalent of dude, we should start a band, which was the rave back in like 2000s and the 90s and whatever.
Yeah.
But even that, like it just for it not even forces, but it just allows you to have that connection with people or or a person,
Mhm.
because you're creating content together.
And like speaking of, well, I guess kind of history, the other day on my Facebook memories, our first live episode,
Yeah,
like
we
that's
it seems like ages ago now.
that yeah.
And like it didn't last long, and I mean that's not really surprising because it wasn't really efficient, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't realistic, I guess, because when you have a podcast, like it's hard to get a following when you're only going live once a week, and you're in the just chatting stream on or topic on Twitch, and it's like, okay, there's 5,000 people streaming in this category. Good luck.
Yeah. It was definitely worth the try. No, like knowing that we can at least say we did it and it didn't work, but that's you gotta trial and error stuff like that to see if it'll catch on.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing when we tried to have that guest on ages ago, that rapper. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first time we extended our connections to like someone out of our circles, because like everyone we've had on is either your friend or my friend.
Yeah.
But like having the chance to maybe have a stranger on, or somebody who wants to get their voice out there and promote themselves would have been a good opportunity. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but at least we tried.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I think
Not
we've
bitter
said
at
that
all for
multiple
that.
times
Yeah,
for multiple
yeah.
episodes.
I'll just send him a compilation of us flipping him off. It's fine.
There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it has been a wild ride. There's definitely been some episodes where I'm like, that was shit. That shouldn't have gone up. But I mean, that's with everything. Like, you're not gonna like every single thing you put out as a content creator. You're not.
Yeah.
There are streams on my Twitch page where I'm like, yeah, this was not a good stream. But I mean, it's over with. It's done. It's out there. So yeah, I definitely think in the future, I just want to keep pumping up the quality, because I mean, right now we're not in a bad stage for quality, but I'd like to step it up to the standards of maybe some of the pros. You know, get our quality to stand out more, so the more people are you know engaged and want to keep coming back.
One thing we mentioned is green screens for us, so we have less things in the background, and when people watch it, like actually watch it, there's less going on to distract people, I guess.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff in both mine and your backgrounds. So like
Hmm.
if it's just like our logo or like even just a blank background for like something to stock, it'd be
Yeah.
easier to like watch.
Yeah.
Or another thing I'd like to do going forward is when we move into like a more permanent living situation is have an actual streaming room.
Yeah.
Because I like the podcasts where they're sitting in chairs, having a beer together and
Yeah.
just chatting. Like I'd like to
Yeah.
eventually have that kind of setup, not me
Yeah.
and you in separate rooms behind a monitor.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. And like, part of this kind of topic and conversation is also about like inspirations and what kind of inspired it. Because I mean, I've talked about it before. The Misfits podcast, they're probably my biggest inspiration. I'm pretty sure they were the first podcast I've ever listened to. At least continuously and dedicated to it because I listened to almost every episode, and they're kind of what made me want to do this because I was like, that's kind of cool, it's just some guys sitting around talking about shit, and like you and I did that anyways. Like there was times where we're driving to and from work, and we just talked about world stuff or music or TV shows or movies or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that could be fun. And then as our friendship grew, like so did our experiences. The trip to the Stone Sour concert and uh going out for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Um, that vehicle's really loud. Um,
Diesel, you can hear it.
yeah, and yeah, and that like the Misfits told their stories, and I figured we could kind of do the same format. It's really something
More
anyone can do.
Yeah, it's more personable and people can
Yeah,
relate to like more personal stuff.
yeah,
And like we could sit here and read fucking public events and talk about world politics and shit like that, but it's only like engaging to some people where
yeah,
like people listening to like us shit talk certain things or how we had a bad day and we were shit talking customers or shit talking our boss is
yeah,
more fun and more relatable to people
yeah, and
than
like
us
that's
talking about fucking how Trudeau is a fuck bag.
yeah, and like I've I came to a crossroads quite early on where we were talking about world news. Like our first few episodes, I don't like. I've debated taking them down once or twice, but I'm like, no, that's like our starting ground. That's when we were figuring out how we wanted to do this and how we were going to make it look professional and sound professional, and we failed. No,
Yeah.
we did not fail, but I mean, it comes with time. But like we were talking about world news, and I'm like, this is fine, and like we can give our opinion on it, but like we're not the most educated people when it comes to politics and world news and stuff, and we just didn't have the time to sit down and really deep dive into that kind of stuff because I don't think it interested us really. It was just something to get us started, and I think that's probably the best way to put it. Is it was our building ground, our foundation to where we are now.
Yeah. I feel like we could possibly go back to world events if there's something that's like extremely important happens.
Yeah,
Like fucking country A attacks country B and starts World War III.
we went
Like
to the same place there.
stuff like that
Yeah,
is important to cover, but like we're
mhm,
not gonna beat a dead horse about it. We'll have one episode
yeah,
talking about it, opinions, shit like that, and then we'll go
yeah,
back to, oh hey, the other day a fucking missile landed in the neighbor's yard. Like
yeah,
fucking go back to joking about how we almost die every day.
yeah. And I mean, I have had people come to me and be like, "Hey, do you want to talk about this world news topic or this religious topic or whatever?" And like, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm not comfortable talking about that shit anymore because, like, one, it's been talked about so much, or two, I'm not educated enough and not in a place to say shit. Because, like, and it's more and more prevalent, I think, for me to think about it when I'm like, hey, if we blow up someday and like we get 100,000 viewers on our stream or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to the podcast, and we say something completely ignorant and like uneducated and out of our field, like we're gonna get completely minced for it online.
That's
And
why
like,
like the religion topic is like a scary thing to me. Is
yeah,
like you say one wrong thing, whether it's a joke or not, you're done.
Yeah, and, like, I'm sure we have stuff in the previous episodes that people are gonna be pissed about, and if we do make it, then I guess that's kind of our bed that we have to lay in, because we already did that, and I think a lot of creators early on make those kinds of mistakes, and that's why you see cancel culture coming up and, like, canceling all these people for what they said in the past, and does it worry me? Kind of, yeah. I mean, there's a good chance we won't make it as streamers. I mean, that I think that's a healthy mindset to have because you can't go into and be like, I'm gonna be number one. I'm gonna be bigger than Ninja. I'm gonna be bigger than Doctor Lupo, whatever, whoever your high tier like
Yeah.
uh idol is. But there is a chance we do make it, and like we have to be comfortable with what we say now in the future. And I think that's the most important. That's why I do cut some stuff out, especially with Kyle. And I don't think, I mean, I love Kyle to death. He's a great friend, but I don't think he realizes some of the shit he says could have consequences in the future.
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully he doesn't make a career online because he might be canceled for that everything he said.
How long did
Um,
he last? One day.
yeah, they found the B&B podcast and he was done. But that's what I mean. I feel like it's very important to like be comfortable in whatever content medium you create, but also be aware that your actions do have consequences. So
Yeah. Like, see, that's the one thing I'm worried about is like with my stream, it's like no holds barred kind of thing. Like, I won't talk about how like religion A is better than religions B or like
yeah,
country A is better than country B, but like I'll let my opinion fly like there's no tomorrow. But it's one thing I'm kind of worried about going forward is like how that might like shit I say might affect the podcast one day.
yeah,
So like going forward, I really need to be careful what I say more often.
definitely, yeah,
But like I have goals set for my stream that they might fail, they might not. Like
mhm,
I would love to hit partner by the time like 2025 hits. Like, that's a reasonable 3 years.
yeah,
Like it's not like it's unreasonable. It's like I say, oh yeah, I
mhm,
want to hit partner by tomorrow. Like
yeah,
that's not reasonable. But yeah, giving
yeah,
myself 3 years is possible.
yeah,
E-
definitely,
Especially if I can get back to streaming, like work has definitely not allowed that for either of us,
yeah,
but hopefully it slows down enough that we can stream because I got
mhm,
lots of big ideas coming soon and
yeah,
big stuff to stream. So
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think content creation is something that I strive to continue on to do, and like it's honestly been a dream of mine since I can remember, and the podcast has kind of allowed me to start that because I've had like my Twitch streams and I used to have a YouTube channel and whatever. But the podcast allowed a lot of my creative ideas to come out. I mean, I've thought a lot about, topics and what we could do that would be interactive and fun. And I brought on guests and I brought on, several guests multiple times because the audience seemed to enjoy it. As for goals for the podcast, I mean, I'd love to uh, monetize it. I mean, that's the end goal. If I'm being realistic, that is the end goal for a lot of um, content creators is they want to monetize what they do, what they love. I mean, we still love creating these episodes and I love sitting down, just talking to the camera, talking to you guys and, bantering back and forth with Brody. But eventually I do want to monetize it and hopefully like sponsorships. Sponsorships would be cool, I think. I mean, that's and the end goal for, whether it's streaming or podcast is I want to be in a position where I can give back to certain communities and companies that I believe in, like charity streams, for instance. I know we've mentioned that in the past. I would love to do charity streams for like mental health and stuff like that because that's really close to my heart.
yeah. Yeah, that's one of the big things with my stream is I want to get to a point where like I can do giveaways
Hmm.
and like decent sized ones, but also be able to do charity streams because
Yeah.
there's a lot of like gamers like Lupo is a big one, Presley's another big one that do these massive amounts of like giveaways and large subathons that give a lot of money back. Like I
Hmm.
think this year Lupo did like 1 million for St. Jude's and like
Yeah.
Pestily did like 700, like 800,000 ish for
Mhm.
Starlight. Like even if I do $1,000,
Yeah.
like or like $100, like shit, it's better than nothing.
Yeah. And like if we're able to create an audience and a community, like a family that actually cares about the betterment of society, like why would we not use that for good? I mean, there's so many creators that do not deserve what they have, and they do not deserve the fan base, like the loyal fan base they have when they use it for shitty like reasons. Um and like almost manipulate their fans into supporting their bad habits. There are tons of creators that do that. But like what sets the others apart is they are using their platform for good. Like there's so many big creators now that are giving back because they're in a position to do so.
Yeah.
And like one of them, which I know Brody has his opinions on, but Mr. Beast, he really has used his platform for good in some ways. I mean, obviously giving away millions of dollars to YouTubers who already have millions of dollars, probably not the best use of the money. But he's got movements like Team Trees and Team Seas, which are helping the betterment of our planet. So like being in that kind of position and being able to give back is kind of where I strive to be.
Yeah, like the I know I have my opinions about him, but like the whole giving back to the planet thing is something everyone should do.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of big names on board with there were with Team Trees, and Team Seas is another huge one.
Mhm.
Um I would love to be able to have a community that will give back to that. Like
Yeah.
as of it sits so right now, like being a small streamer, you don't have as much as a community,
Yeah.
but that's the point that we're at. Like you got to
Mhm.
build that.
Yeah.
Like even with the podcast, like the outreach is one thing we got to work on, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it comes with practice, it comes with experience.
Yeah.
It's not just something we'll develop overnight.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, community building has always been. Oh god, I'm fucking sliding down my chair. Community building is one thing that I've always strived for because, like, I love having other people to kind of talk to about like passions and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I love just the casual nights where you and I jump into a party chat stream or whatever with some of our friends and we just play party games and we just shit talk and talk about whatever and like that's the kind of community that I want to build because it's more like you're not even streaming like a lot of people turn it into this business model where I have to stream this many hours and I have to make this much money by the end of the month whatever, and they look at it like that, and honestly I think that's why a lot of people feel burnt out because if they don't stream enough hours or if they don't make enough money then they feel like they're failing. But like for me it's like, okay, let's build a community first, have a bunch of people that I actually vibe with, and then look at monetizing. And it's the same thing with the podcast. Like it really is. Like step one is step one is to do what you love, I think. Like you can't just force yourself to do something that you don't feel passionate about. It'll
Yeah.
lead to burnout, it'll lead to shitty content, whatever. And then step two is do what you love for, the people that you love, like that you mesh with, that you actually enjoy talking to.
Yeah.
Um, like day oneers in Twitch chat, like phenomenal people because like you remember those people. I've seen big streamers who still remember their day oneers, and it's
Yeah.
really wholesome. And like that's the kind of community that I want to build as well. And and then step three is to just do what you love, but like still have that interaction with your fans. Because I see so many content creators who get big on the platform and they just don't give a shit about their fans anymore, which is really sad.
Mhm.
Let's get a Liquid Death sponsorship, please.
I wish.
Best water.
That's one of the things I was looking for when I was there. They only had the sparkling water, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling that bougie tonight.
Yeah, I've never had that stuff. I just had the regular, but
I've never been a sparkling water fan.
no. Still water for the win. But who do you like look up to, like for as far as creators?
Um, like to pick two that are like easily my top two that I love watching, that I can watch like all day long. Um, Mainly found them because of me playing Escape from Tarkov, but it beat Pestily and Aqua. Like Aqua, because it's at any given time he's always laughing, having a great
Mm-hmm.
time, but there's those serious moments where he gets like his cool clips from and all that,
Yeah.
and like his community is hilarious like he is, and
Mm-hmm.
he's so lucky to like to have something like that. And
Yeah.
same thing with Pestily. Like his community loves watching him play, like doing the giveaways, like giving back, like
Mm-hmm.
all the money he's raised for Starlight over the years is all thanks to his community. And
Yeah.
he's definitely, both of them definitely put in the hours to grow as who they are, and Aqua's still working on it. Like he's a big streamer by any means, but he even says himself that he has work to do to get bigger.
Yeah. And
Which mean like,
I think
go
that's a
ahead.
good mentality that Aqua has, though, like, because he is successful in his own right, and he could just keep recycling the same shit over and over and over again. But, like, if you're a streamer and you have the mindset, I can always do better, I can always do better, I think that's a good mentality to have because you're always going to strive to, like, one up what you're doing.
Yeah.
Speaks to his work ethic for sure.
Oh yeah. And that's the one thing that I love about streaming is it doesn't feel like work. Like
Yeah.
yeah, the having the mentality to get on and stream and actually like play the game, put the content out can be a drag sometimes if you have like a bad day at work or you're having a bad day just in general. It is hard to get on and play, but like once you get on it is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But the other big thing with that is where we're having troubles is having people to talk to.
Yeah. Solo streaming by yourself when there's no one to talk to in, like, Discord or no one to talk to in chat is, like, I may as well turn stream off and just play by myself. I mean, that's kind of the mentality I have sometimes, but I try and push through it.
Yeah, like that's why I'm lucky as I play pretty much every game I play is multiplayer. So I
Yeah.
usually have someone to chat to, or if I'm playing like a single player game like Destiny, sometimes I'll just be in Discord and have
Yeah.
someone to chat to.
Mhm.
But having like someone in Twitch chat, like chatting is also like huge
Yeah.
because that's a whole different person you're interacting with, different conversations and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been watching content online for so many years now. Like, I don't even remember when I first started watching YouTube. But it probably started around the time that, like, everybody and their fucking mother was making Minecraft videos. That was, like, the biggest thing that drew me into the content creation community, and that's the first time I'm like, "This would be so cool to just do." I'm like, "These people get so many interactions, and it looks like they're having fun, and, like, they're getting paid to do it, that'd be awesome." And, one of the earliest channels that I can remember subscribing to is the Yogscast, and, like, they came from humble beginnings, like, both the, like, co-founders and main people in the Yogscast, Simon and Lewis, they went to college together, they lived together. I think they graduated, but instead of doing that, they just decided to start creating WoW content on their YouTube channel, and then eventually it, evolved into Minecraft.
They started with WoW. I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
big WoW nerds. That's what the Yogscast was, because I guess that was their guild name was Yogs.
oh okay,
I think it
nice.
was Ye Old Gangster Squad or something, that's what it stands for. It's kinda
Okay.
cool.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and then they moved into Minecraft, and that's kinda where I started watching them, and then, like, as a fan of their original series, to watch them, like, glow up, that's kind of the term that people use now, like, watching them I wouldn't say rise to fame because I don't like using the word fame, but just, becoming this, like, group of, like, successful, streamers and content creators, and then watching them, do charity streams. I mean, they raised over $3 million for charity this year alone, and, like, over the years, they've probably raised over 12. And, like, yeah, it took them a while. It took them about 10 years, and that's why when I sit back and I look, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna get to, like, where these guys are." I have to realize that unless you're insanely lucky and like or someone shouts you out, like say fucking Ludwig or Dr. Lupo or Tim the Tatman or someone huge like shouts you out, or you just get insanely lucky, like some of these new Minecraft YouTube streamers up and coming did. Like it's work, and it's work over a long period of time. It's not just going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was actually, speaking of like different streamers, there is this, I for life of me can't remember her name right now, but she um hit um what's the word I'm looking for here? Before partner, affiliate. She
Affiliate.
hit affiliate, quit her job, streamed full time, and blew up.
Yeah.
Like, she had her TikTok, she had like big
Yeah.
social media connections, and
Mhm.
then as soon as like people found out she quit her job to like stream full time, yeah, she just blew up. She
Yeah.
hit partner within like a month and never needed to go back to work.
Yeah. And I mean,
Like,
like, great for her. Like, I don't want this to seem like we're bitter or we hate the people who are lucky. Like, congrats. Like, that's cool
yeah,
that
that's
that happened to you.
huge.
Can that happen to me? Probably not. But
You
like,
don't have the titties.
yeah. But like, I am happy for those people that they did make it, and like, that's a big risk to take because like
Oh yeah.
just getting affiliate doesn't mean anything. Like, there's people that have been streaming for years as affiliate that still haven't been made partner, and you're like, what the fuck? But I mean, it's not an everyday thing. It doesn't happen to everyone.
Yeah. Like, I cannot wait for the day where I don't have to work again in my life and I can just
Yeah.
create content, like whether it's once we get monetized with the podcast and like streaming takes off and we could do podcasts and stream throughout the
Hmm.
week and
Yeah.
be able to enjoy our lives. Like, who knows, one day me and Brian will be live from a beach in Mexico recording the podcast.
B&B Mexico edition.
Yeah,
Cartel?
like,
Cartel feature,
yeah,
perhaps?
question mark beheading maybe.
Yeah.
But no, like, stuff like that is like good to have those fun goals.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely not unobtainable, but it's not so, I
It's
said
not
that so
unrealistic.
backwards. Yeah. I said that 100% backwards.
Okay, we love you.
I know. But yeah, like stuff like that where like hitting partner, the fuck was that about?
I don't know. Just continue.
Where like having those goals, big or small, like you get set a goal of I want to stream twice a week for the rest of the month. Like something small, or even once a week.
Mhm.
Something small like that, and then working your way up to like my goal of I want to hit partner in 3 years. Like, even if I don't hit that goal in 3 years, like I want to have progress points where
Yeah.
like I can look back and reflect at like how much hard work I put in and
Yeah.
like see that, yeah, I might have hit partner, but I might have gotten 10,000 followers and I
Yeah.
have 100 people in every stream.
Mhm.
Like, something like that it's a failure to some regards, but to some people it's not. Like, that's a massive success. Like,
Yeah.
looking at stuff as a failure is how you lose the mindset of wanting to do something.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you don't hit one goal, but you could have hit multiple other small goals along the way
Mhm.
and it be more than the big goal's worth.
Yeah. And like, you do have to break it up into small like pieces of a goal, because you can't just be like, all right, we're gonna make it to partner in 3 years and call that a goal. Like,
Yeah.
set sub goals for yourself, set follower goals for yourself, set like, okay, I want to finish this game by the end of 2022, or okay, I want to, do at least one giveaway, even if it's like a $20 like Amazon gift card or something. 20 buck. God, everyone knows we're Canadian enough in it.
Like, when I remember this like it was yesterday because it was so much fun. I hated every minute of it afterwards because I was so sleep deprived.
Yep,
Was
I
when I did
remember.
my um affiliate stream,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember because it fell shortly around the World of Warcraft expansion launch. It's crazy to think how fucking long ago that was that
We're
we
still in the old place.
hit affiliate, not just
Yeah.
me, because we hit it short like roughly the same-ish time.
Yeah, I
It
think I hit
wasn't
it a
like
month or so after. Yeah.
yeah, like that stream I did a Steam card giveaway. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was only $20, but I mean, it got some people into the stream, it got some people
Yeah.
chatting, like met some cool people, and
Yeah.
that's all it takes. Like it
Yeah.
could be a $10 Steam card, and
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, people are getting stuff for free, so they'll come and hang out.
We're not
Whether
selling our bathwater. Sorry.
Brandon speaks for himself. But yeah, like stuff like that is people think giveaways have to be this big, super expensive,
Yeah.
godly
No.
thing. It doesn't. Like,
No.
yes, Pestily recently, speaking of one of my favorite streamers in the world, he did a $16,000 Christmas giveaway. What it entailed, I don't know, because I
Give.
was working and Christmas and stuff. I didn't get a chance to look into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it was one prize or multiple prizes, but
Yeah.
he's partnered with Artesian, like the computer building company. He's given away probably 30 or 40 decently built computers over the past couple years.
Yeah.
And like having those connections would be huge. Like I would one day I want to be sponsored by G Fuel. That's another goal. Like that's
Mhm.
not they have a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
G Fuel, like even if it Gamer Sups or
Yeah.
Swift Lifestyles is another
Phil Swift.
ga- no, not quite. Is another just I want at least by the time like say 2 years, 2024 rolls around, I want to have a sponsor,
Yeah.
whether it's something absolutely tiny or I get lucky and it's like Monster or Red Bull or something huge.
Get sponsored by Superstore and just have no name posters in your background. No name with your fucking Twitch handle on it.
There we go. See, I'll get Canadian Tire to sponsor me.
Yeah.
Hey, I work for you guys. I'll put you in the back of my stream. Give me stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if you're getting into content creation to kind of reiterate all the stuff me and Brian have mentioned, have a large goal, but break it down into small goals. So like say with content creation, you want to have 100 subs on YouTube. So set goals that like you record 3 times a week, edit the videos to go out,
Mhm.
or 2 videos a week, whatever it might be. Have those goals so you're
Yeah.
driven. Say 2 is too easy, then you can revise it and make it 3, or go to 4. 4 is too hard, settle in the middle and go for 3. Like you
Mhm.
want to have those goals along the way
Yeah.
to help you reach that final step. Like if you just have the I want 100 subs, you it's not that it's impossible, it's just you might lose focus halfway through and then
Mm.
get frustrated and quit because you didn't hit that goal.
Well, and celebrate the like small victories. Like celebrate 10 subs, 20 subs, 25 subs cuz like it'll make it seem like, every so often you get a little bit of a reward for all your hard work and it
Yeah.
won't be like getting to the end and finally being like, "Okay, we're done this milestone. Let's go for 1,000." Cuz like you're going to lose your drive, you're going to lose your power. You won't be able to.
Did you It's about power, it's about drive, not about the song.
Yeah. But like you're gonna lose your drive. You're gonna lose your want to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, The Rock, for your wonderful verse.
Uh
Anyways, I guess at the end of the day, and I'll probably post this bit on TikTok. If you are looking at being a content creator and like you're struggling with the mindset, I'd say everyone deals with it differently. So you gotta find the happy balance because you gotta balance your life. A lot of people just go into this and ignore all their other responsibilities and can't find the right balance between it. But you really have to find the balance, and you have to just do what you love in the end and be happy with where you are and where it's going. Um, don't listen to fucking haters. I mean, we got hate on one of our live episodes. We didn't stop after that. And that's not the reason we stopped. So like I feel like everyone's going to have hate in the world. I mean, you're going to face hate no matter what you do. So as long as you love it and as long as, you enjoy doing it with the people in your comments in your stream chat, wherever it may be. Just keep going. It is rewarding in the end, and if you enjoy it, then go for it. Treat it like a hobby, and if it turns into a career, then just pace yourself so that you don't end up hating it.
And enjoy the little things.
Hmm.
That's the biggest thing I can say. Like we mentioned, celebrate your small successes. Like when me and I had affiliate, we had our own mini party that like no one really knew about. We did our own little thing. When I hit 100 followers, I kind of had a drink to myself, toasted to that. That was big. Like when I hit
Hmm.
150, I'll do the same thing. 200, same thing. Like you gotta celebrate it. That's for sure,
Yeah,
and
and
not think of it as a job.
yeah, and like it is one of those things where it's not a normal career. It's not a 9 to 5, and like I'm hoping as time goes on, as the years go on, it's more widely accepted as a viable career path because it really is. I mean, look at all the streamers nowadays compared to like 10 years ago. Um, so like it is a career where you have to be your own boss. You have to set schedules. You have to, celebrate the small victories. You have to set your own goals and what you strive to do. It really is whatever you make it. If you make it a job, if you make it a 9 to 5 where you're streaming 9 to 5 every day, Monday to Friday, and have Saturday, Sunday off, then that's how it's going to be for you. And it will feel like a job. Maybe not for everyone. Maybe that works for you. Maybe you're fine streaming, 8, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. There are streamers that do that. But for me, like I can't do that. Like 3, 4 hours maybe tops, and like a few times a week. I think is kind of my format that I'm striving for. Moving into the new year. So like it is a career where you make the outcome based on your mentality.
I'm excited for what the future holds for both our streams and of the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we always say it. When COVID ends, we have so much fucking shit planned, and with us back working and stuff, we actually have the funds to do that kind of stuff. But like every time I think about, oh my god, I can't wait to film that, or I can't wait to record that. Like it gets me excited and happy to do this. Like I've noticed a lot of podcasts, the Misfits included, they've kind of just been killing time until they can do like content again. And that's
Yeah.
kind of where I feel we're at. Like I do enjoy the hypothetical episodes and like episodes like this where it's just us talking to each other and you about whatever. But like I can't wait. I'm so excited to be able to create better quality content and just more entertaining and exciting content for you guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're probably going to leave it. It's been about 42 minutes, so
Yeah, we could go on this for literally ever. Like
yeah.
all the goals we have, like big plans going forward. Like
Hmm.
Brenna mentioned, like once COVID's over, we can go back out and do stuff. Where
Yeah.
like my goals are different because like new games coming out, new
Yeah.
patches coming out for shit. Like that'll be like where my striving for stream and stuff is.
Yeah.
So like I'm super excited for new WoW stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But yeah, I mean, both of us are excited for the future of the podcast and our individual streams. So we invite you guys to, tell other people about us. If you enjoy our content, any interaction is really what we're looking for. Like we love seeing comments on the videos. It makes me smile. I like seeing the likes and the interactions with the Twitter posts or the Facebook posts, wherever you guys are interacting with. So I mean, thank you guys. Thank you for putting us in a position where we can make content and have the mentality that hey, people are enjoying this kind of thing. But yeah, other than that, like I said, if you're a content creator, keep going at it because like it does pay off in the end, and it really is worthwhile. You have any closing notes there, Chief?
Um,
Titties.
yes. Show
Uh,
me your titty. I mean, what?
Nothing.
Who said that?
Audio listeners very confused. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and or watching on YouTube. If you watched last week's episode, there was a little little snippet I left in there that I did not leave in there for the audio listeners. So if you're an audio listener and you didn't see that little clip that I left in the video, you'll have to go to YouTube to watch it and support us on there. It's a little trick, a little tricky boy
Audio
move.
listeners are raging right now.
Yeah, they're like up in arms. Let's go kill the B&B podcast hosts and take over.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are definitely gonna have to check out the video. You'll actually have to check out the video for the sign that's right above my head. To see that and to just kind of see our setups. But other than that, where can they find us for the podcast on social media and listening platforms?
All right. As my back gets itchy. Anyways, the main ones we use that is easily interactable with if you need to get a hold of us for something or send us feedback, give us some tips. You know, we're always open to any and all advice as long as it's not, you know, telling us we're shit at our jobs, which
Or
we
fat.
already know. You know, we know that. We're trying. But the main ones we use are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Easiest way to get a hold of us would be any of those. Or if you know us personally, get a hold of us either that way. Other than that, for audio listeners, I mean, technically you can listen to the audio on YouTube if you really want to. It'd be kind of strange, but
I mean, if you have YouTube Premium, you can just listen to us with your phone locked.
oh, kind of like what I was doing at work today. I was listening to some of our older ones because I was interested to see the difference.
Yikes.
But yeah, audio listeners, I guess you have Spotify and YouTube podcast, Apple podcast,
Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google
YouTube.
Podcasts, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
they're called now. I don't know anymore.
yeah, you'll find it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
And for video listeners, as of the current time, we just have YouTube. Maybe something else will be made, and
We
we'll
might
try
be
to.
moving. Speaking of video, we might be moving. I know Spotify has that feature where you can have videos. I don't know if there's a requirement for it, but I'm going to look into that. So, possible Spotify video podcast as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Branch out for our
Yeah.
Spotify listeners. I know a bunch of people are listening through other podcasting apps, and Anchor has their other options that you can stream through as well.
Yeah. So you give us a check, like if you're an audio listener and you're curious to see what we look like or you know what our setups look like, you can come see Brandon's ugly mug.
Fuck
See,
you!
see, you have to come watch now to see his reaction.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, if you're a video listener and you want to give us some support, go give us a like on Spotify, give us a rate. All of that is huge. Likes and rates on Spotify, YouTube, whatever you. And it
Review us
doesn't
on Apple.
it doesn't take long. Like even
No,
just to subscribe,
second.
it takes a second, and it makes our entire week. Like
Yeah.
one, like as we sit right now, one subscriber is massive.
Mhm.
Like as small as that seems, you have to start somewhere. Like
Yep. Everyone started somewhere. Like, Lupo, PewDiePie, Ludwig, they all started with one.
Yep.
It was probably their mom. Thanks,
Mom
Mom.
and close friends and
I don't even think
yeah.
my mom liked the podcast Sag Boy
Ouch.
Hours. Yeah, fine. I always
Yeah,
get told I'm adopted anyways.
that happens.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support and, any support. It doesn't even have to be monetary. We're not asking you to go check out a Redbubble or a Patreon, even though you can donate there and support us financially there. But, likes and interactions are definitely the way forward for small streamers and small content creators. So thank you for being you.
Yes. Keep being you.
Yes. Hypothetical episode next week. Just Brody and I was an interesting one to record, and then we'll probably have some guests on in the future. I'm gonna see if I can get some of my old camp friends on and maybe cause some drama between them. So look forward to that because that should be an interesting one.
Yeah. I got
yeah.
a couple buddies that want to come on the podcast, so new co-hosts and all that fun stuff, and
We'll get Justin from your work on the podcast.
He honestly probably 100% would.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching this podcast. Let us know what you think in the comment section of our video down below and or on social media. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, pour one out for Betty White.
Yes.
Said.
Do it.